Are you an alpha type woman, that executive level person who just crushes it in the boardroom? Maybe you're a doctor or a CEO, a lawyer, someone who runs their own business, whatever it is. If so, your work so often requires you to lean so heavily into your masculine energy because this is penetrating. This is the type of energy that pushes things and makes things happen, and people do what you tell them to do because you are in total control. But here's the thing. What works well in the boardroom might not serve you well when you carry this energy into a date, and you may not realize that you're subconsciously repelling masculine men. And really what you might be finding is that the only men who really stick around are the more feminine and beta men who get kind of pushed more into their feminine. So if you're finding that every relationship you're in feels like you are just either dueling with the guy, you're butting heads as if you have like antlers, with fighting with one another, fighting for a mate, bashing into each other for dominance, then it's possible we may need to learn to shift our energy into the feminine energy, which, by the way, is the most powerful energy in the dating process. Here's how to do it. Hey there, Adam Dolce, founder of LoveStrategies.com, where we help successful single women get out there and attract long-lasting love and do it with a proven strategy. As part of this video, I have a very damning confession that I want to tell all of you beautiful ladies. Before I ever became a coach and learned all the stuff that now we teach as part of Love Strategies, I actually used to date with a lot of feminine energy. I was the classic nice guy. Like, I was the type of guy who would take a woman out, let her do whatever it is that she wanted, was always just there, was always complimentary, never wanted to create any type of situation that could result in any type of conflict or anything like that. And what I found is that the only type of women I was attracting were masculine women. And then when I went through my own personal transformation and started learning everything I could through a 3-year process about attraction, about women, about dating, about relationships, it wasn't until I went through that process when I started to learn a lot about masculine and feminine dynamics. And then when I finally started learning all this stuff, I started leaning more into my masculine energy. And in turn, this started attracting a lot more feminine women, and the attraction started becoming a lot more potent and a lot stronger. And at this moment, I started really realizing this idea of masculine, feminine polarity. What that basically means is that the more you lean into one type of energy, whether it's masculine or feminine, you're likely to attract people from the other type of energy. So for you ladies, if you find that you're leaning a lot into your masculine, you're likely going to be attracting a lot of feminine type men, a lot of beta men, a lot of the types of men that you might not necessarily be attracted to. So how do we solve for that? Well, we shift our energy into the feminine. And by doing this, you're going to not only have a lot more fun while dating, but you're also going to attract a lot more high value masculine men. Here's exactly how to do it. Number 1, let him ask you out on the first date. Now I get it. Sometimes you're in a situation where you're chatting with a guy online and you might wonder, should I just take the lead and just ask him out? Like, why are we having to do all this talking back and forth? But I'm here to tell you, no, don't ask him out. Let him ask you out. And if he doesn't, then you say that magic 4-letter word, which is next, and move on to the next. I don't want you getting into that chaser mode where you're investing so much into this guy, trying to push this rock up a hill, trying to get him to want to see you. If he wants to see you make plans, he's going to ask you out. You're talking on a dating app, okay? And if he doesn't, then he is just a time waster. We're not going to deal with that. Lean into your feminine, let him ask you out. Number 2, and this is going to be a hard one for a lot of you control freaks out there. By the way, I'm a control freak myself. Let him plan the first few dates. Once a guy asks you out, let him make those investments in you, trying to figure out, how does he impress you? Where should he take you? And if he asks you, by the way, where do you want to go? Reply with something like interesting, like, I don't know, surprise me. And by doing this, it enables you to kind of sit back and in many ways judge him. See what he does. See where he takes you. See how he interacts with other people. Look at him in his kind of natural environment, where it is that he likes to hang out. You're going to get a lot more information about this guy than if you were the one planning it every single step of the way. I kind of like to think of it as you are qualifying him to see if he's a good fit for you. You are the queen sitting on her throne deciding if, hear ye, if this man is worthy of your time. And the best way to do that is to let him plan the first couple dates. Number 3 is that when you're on any of these dates, I want you to be that chooser and not the chaser. If you're always going on dates and you're asking yourself the whole time, does he like me? Does he not like me? Is he going to kiss me? Is he not going to kiss me? Or you keep trying to say things to try and impress him, subconsciously or consciously, You are chasing. So instead, I want you to go into these dates with the mindset where you are the chooser. Like I said, that queen sitting on her throne. You were deciding if he's right for you. And he's taking you out on a date. So of course he's into you. Of course he's attracted to you. Of course he likes you. And I always say, always assume attraction. If he's taking you out, he's spending time with you, he likes you. And he has to win you over. When you do this, you are deeply stepping into your feminine energy, and I want him fighting for you. I want him pursuing you. I want him doing everything in his power to win you over. And you're kind of sitting there, mindset-wise, being like, is this man right for me? And that is what makes a man really step into his masculine even deeper. And finally, number 4, if he offers to pay, what I want you to do is just offer to split. But if he says, no, I've got it, just smile and say thank you. Look, if a guy asks you out, he's taking you on a first date, I'm sorry, but he should be paying. And there's some women out there who are really uncomfortable with this, especially if they make a lot of money or like they're going out with a guy that they know that they're never going to see again. And I get it, but I want you to know that this guy knew what he was getting into. He's an adult and he asked you out on a date. This man should pay. And honestly, refusing to let a guy buy you dinner or drinks, that's not feminism or anything like that. It's just unfun and unattractive. So if he offers to pay, let him. This lets him lean into his masculine and get into that kind of provider mode a little bit. And it's just another way for you to lean into your feminine as the receiver of his energy. Now, this doesn't mean he's paying for every single dinner from that point forward. Make a mental note, maybe the next time around or even later that evening, to pay for dessert or ice cream or coffee, whatever it is. This can be a reciprocal exchange at times, but the first few dates, yeah, I'm going to let this guy pay for the bill.